Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. We have a guy in the studio with us that we've known a minute or two. Nick Bertelsen is joining us. Great to see you, Nick.
Great to see you, Lou. Thanks for having me.
Nick is a Hollywood producer who is from right here in central Iowa. You were born in?
Ames, Iowa.
How about that? Went to Iowa State?
Went to Iowa State.
And then you went to grad school?
I went to grad school at USC.
All right. And your job right now, being a producer, is where? You're located where?
So I'm in Los Angeles, California, producing movies out there. I'm also producing at USC, where I got my master's degree.
Oh, that is so cool. And we love visiting with Nick and finding about his latest projects. And the latest project is going to have a premiere in Des Moines tomorrow. Let's talk about this, because this is talking about an event that happened, believe it or not, 30 years ago. Explain.
Yeah, so the movie comes out tomorrow across the country, including at the Fleur Cinema Cafe here in Des Moines. They've been kind enough to play a few of the movies that I've produced. I always love coming here and bringing movies to the Fleur. The movie's called McVeigh. It's about Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber. And this movie is not about the explosion and the manhunt and the court case and all that kind of stuff. This movie takes place before all of that. So this is sort of a how did we get here kind of movie. How did this person go from being a decorated American Army veteran to America's deadliest homegrown terrorist in the span of just a couple of years? You know, how did he get radicalized? How did he put the people together? How did he put the pieces together? So it's kind of a slow burn, sort of a thriller, really. And it sort of leads you up to the thing that we all know sort of happened at the end of it. And so this is not, big explosion action movie. This is kind of a slow burn thriller.
Yeah, and we learn about the mindset of this person, but we're not embracing Timothy McVeigh. We're just learning about
Right, yeah, not at all. We're certainly not glorifying him in any way. We're trying to understand him a little bit, and it's funny because people sort of ask, well, why make a movie about this horrible person? And, you look at almost immediately after 9/11, a movie was made about that. And, Ruby Ridge and Waco were two of the factors that caused Timothy McVeigh to attack the American government. And movies and TV shows have been made about both of those events. But nobody's ever told this story of, the Timothy McVeigh Oklahoma City bombing and again, the sort of how did we get here moment.
And 30 years is a long time. And there's people that we've talked to in this building that don't know about this. Yeah. They have no recollection.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole generation of people who weren't even alive for 9/11, and this was 6 years before 9/11. And a lot of people are not familiar with it because it's not as sort of famous as an event as 9/11 was, And so people just, if you're under 40 years old, you might not even know about it.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about, is getting this information out. But some big names are in this movie. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so Alfie from Game of Thrones plays Timothy McVeigh. Brett Gelman from Stranger Things plays his co-conspirator, Terry Nichols.
Right.
Ashley Benson from Spring Breakers and Pretty Little Liars is in the movie, as well as Anthony Kerrigan from Barry, and Tracy Letts from Ford versus Ferrari, which we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Car racing movies off camera.
Yeah, but so these are some talented people that are telling this story. And how did it impact them creating this movie?
That's really interesting because I think that they were all they approached it with delicacy because they're playing real people who did some really terrible things. And some of these people are still alive. Some of them are still in prison. Some of them sort of got away and never came back, went to foreign countries and stuff like that. So they approached it very delicately, very seriously, and they're all fantastic actors, and they give amazing performances in this film.
Okay, speaking of performances, you're going to have a chance to see this at the Fleur Cinema and Cafe, 4545 Fleur, for those people that aren't familiar with the location. Yeah. Great place, and you're going to have a couple of showings tomorrow night, as in Friday the 21st.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, and then you're going to be there at what time?
The 7 p.m. showing. I'm going to show up early, so if people want to just come and hang out and talk about movies and stuff, I'll be there before the 7 p.m. screening. After the 7 p.m. screening, I'm going to do a Q&A about, the making of the movie, any questions people have after seeing it. And then it's going to continue to play at the Fleur through the weekend and next week.
Oh, that is great. That's new information, too. Yeah. We just learned that before we went on. Nick, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
And everything you have done, and this movie, is just amazing.
Awesome, thank you.
And hopefully it's going to teach people about what we need to know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
Nick.
for having me, Lou.
And thank you for watching.